The German authorities are well aware of the need to strengthen national security to protect against Russian threats. Russia is already attacking Germany, actively waging a hybrid war against the country. The head of the German government, Friedrich Merz, spoke about this on the Maischberger show. Information war. In particular, there are attempts at sabotage, dissemination of disinformation, and fake news, including those created using artificial intelligence. For example, propaganda channels such as Russia Today systematically misinform the German population. In addition, attacks on infrastructure, arson and sabotage are being recorded in the country, which are probably the work of Russian special services. Almost all traces lead to Russia, the Chancellor added. Meanwhile, representatives of the Green Party wrote a letter to the Chancellor in which they called on the head of government to allocate more money to support Ukraine, Bild reports. Lawmakers are unhappy that the budget for military support for Kiev has only been increased to 8.3 billion euros. They are demanding an urgent increase in military aid to 8.5 billion euros after information emerged that the United States has suspended some weapon supplies to Ukraine. The deputies emphasized that Russian dictator Vladimir Putin is openly rejecting peace initiatives and intends to continue military aggression. Ukraine urgently needs to strengthen its air defense to counter Russian air attacks. In this case, Bild reports that Kyiv sent the German government a comprehensive request for military assistance, including modern air defense systems and missiles for them, armored vehicles and various means for engineering and defense tasks. The contents of the request, according to journalists, 4 Iris-T SLM systems and 2,000 missiles for them, 200,000 40mm shells for the Gepard anti-aircraft mounts, 1,000 mine-protected armored vehicles, 200 tracked armored vehicles, 30 engineering vehicles for mine clearance, from 20 to 30 Y-Cent engineering vehicles, 200 SUVs, 1,000 GPS signal jamming systems to combat drones, 200 ground-based surveillance radar stations. According to the publication sources among the military and politicians, such a list does exist. However, official Berlin does not comment on it, citing security considerations and the confidentiality of such requests. For reasons of military security and in accordance with the new line of communication of the federal government on support for Ukraine, we do not comment on individual support measures, the German Defense Ministry told journalists. The publication adds that it is unclear how the German authorities will respond to the Ukrainian request.
Israel has attacked Yemen, launching Operation Black Flag against the Yemeni Houthis. As the Minister of Defense of the Jewish state, Israel Katz, has stated, Yemen will suffer the same fate as Iran. The Israeli Air Force has attacked 3 seaports in the Houthi-controlled territory of the country, Al-Hodeidah, Ras Isa and Salif, and the Ras Al-Khatib power plant has also been attacked. In addition, strikes have been carried out on the bulk carrier Galaxy Leader, which was captured by the guys in slippers 2 years ago. In Israel, the attack was commented on by a statement that they were hitting terrorist targets used by the Houthis for attacks in the Red Sea. As I warned, Yemen's fate is like Tehran's. Anyone who tries to strike Israel will be struck back, and anyone who raises a hand against Israel will lose that hand. The Houthis will continue to pay a heavy price for their actions, Katz said. In total, about 60 aerial bombs and missiles were launched, with numerous hits noted, since the Houthis do not have a normal air defense system. It is one thing to shoot down high-altitude reconnaissance drones, and quite another to intercept air missiles and bombs. The attacks came after a suspected Houthi attack targeting a ship in the Red Sea that caught fire and took on water, later forcing its crew to abandon the vessel. The Israeli military said it attempted to intercept the 2 missiles the Houthis fire, but they appeared to make impact, though there were no immediate reports of injuries from the attack. Also in mid-June, the Israeli military carried out an airstrike on Yemeni territory, likely killing a key Houthi commander. The target of the attack was the Houthi group's chief of staff, Mohammed al-Gamra. He is the second in the Houthi hierarchy. Israeli officials believe that he could have been killed as a result of the strike. Five Turkish soldiers have died after exposure to methane gas on Sunday while searching a cave in northern Iraq for the remains of a fellow soldier killed by Kurdish militants in 2022, the Turkish Defense Ministry said. According to Associated Press, soldiers were searching a mountain cave when 19 of them were exposed to the gas, which is colorless, odorless, flammable and can cause asphyxiation in sufficient concentration. They were immediately transported to the hospital, but despite all interventions, 5 heroic personnel were martyred, the ministry said in a statement. Rescue operations in the area continue. The ministry did not give a specific location for the incident other than the Klalok Operation region, a reference to an operation launched against the Kurdistan Workers' Party, or PKK, in North Iraq in April 2022. The Turkish unit affected by methane gas was searching for the remains of an infantry officer killed by terrorist gunfire during a search and clear operation in May 2022, the ministry said. For the last 3 years, teams have been hunting for his remains. The cave was at an altitude of 852 meters and was known to have been used as a hospital by the PKK in the past, although it had since been cleared by Turkish soldiers. The office of President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said the soldiers were exposed to a high concentration of accumulated methane gas. Turkey and the PKK have waged a 40-year conflict which has often spilled over into Iraq and Syria. Turkey has set up a series of bases in northern Iraq, where the PKK has been established for decades. The PKK, which is considered a terrorist organization by Turkey and most of the West, announced in May that it would disband and renounce armed conflict as part of a new peace initiative with Turkey. Its fighters are expected to begin handing over their weapons over the next few days in the first concrete move toward disarmament.